Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Water Sports, and today's video is all about how to switch out your kites when you have to downsize or upsize them. I've seen a lot of techniques on the beach. I'm going to show you a couple that I've seen through the years, but then I'm going to show you my way of doing it, and you're going to like it. Stay tuned. All right, today's video is all about switching out your kites and going from a bigger or small kite, doesn't matter. You're just switching them out. And I've seen a bunch of techniques. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that I've seen through the years, and they get kind of confusing if you don't do them perfectly. And then later in the video, I'm going to show you my way. That's like flawless. It's perfect, like as far as making sure you're doing it right every single time. And you could transfer that into other applications with kiteboarding. So let's get started on this first technique. The first technique is blow up that smaller kite or bigger kite, and then you're going to get behind it, walk it over to your bigger kite. And then what I like to do is, as far as like coming in from behind or right downwind from the kite, that means that my bridles are kind of getting pulled away from where I'm placing the kite so that I can see my whole bridles and I'm not digging for them. So I literally just walk this underneath it. On top. And now, if you see, the bridles are really exposed and drug away from the kite. But you can see the first problem here is that they're a little bit confusing. You're not sure what bridles are where and if they're tangled with the other kite and stuff. Well, this will work if you're strategic. So I'm going to start with the first line, wingtip, disconnect, move over to the wingtip of the new kite. The next part is going to be a little confusing. What I like to do is pull this bridle tight so I know it's still connected to the kite. I'm going to take that bridle line, go to the next kite, and make sure that I'm not tangling it up with the old kites. Everything's free and clear. Go ahead and attach it. Move on to the next. In line, I'm not going to go to the wingtip. I'm going to go to the bridle again. And the bridle, it's already starting to confuse me a bit. I'm going to disconnect here. Find my new bridle. Look at every connection. Make sure it's not going through the old bridle of the other kite. Connect. Good to go. Wingtip. Uh-oh. I'm confusing myself on video already. Wingtip from the old kite to the new kite. And now I'm going to have to remove that old kite. And what's going to happen is those bridles are going to possibly grab my new kite and possibly I'm going to lose control. So I'm going to be conscientious about that. Walk over to the front. And I just want to drag it out. Once those bridles are clear, then I can get out of the way of the new kite. Okay, so the new kite's all set up and ready to go. And maybe if I'm really, really cautious, I might look at my bridles and my setup again, just to double check, triple check, make sure I'm safe to go. All right, so that's one way. Let's look at the next way. Of course, there's so many variations to these kind of techniques that you kind of find your own place and how it works for you. Here's a second way that I've seen throughout the years. That's where you take the kite, make sure all the bridles are really clean and clear, all the connections, you can see them, you disconnect them, throw them on the ground, and you're kind of making sure that the lines stay untangled, just like as if you just ran out your bar. So I'm going to place them on the ground and make sure that they don't go anywhere. A little side pro tip is put some sand on top of them, and then the wind won't move them. And here's the hard part is now you got to move your kite out of the way. And then I see this all the time. This is a lot of work. Now you're looking for your lines and you lay it on top. Hopefully you don't scratch your leading edge, dragging it across the beach. And then you guys know what to do after this. You're just going to connect them just like you would after you just ran your bar and lines. I'm telling you, if you trip over these lines, just start over. Go back down to your bar, rerun your lines every time. All right, so this is your third variation to switching your kites out. And this is my favorite. And it actually applies to so many other different scenarios on the beach, whether your kite is like way down the beach, or maybe you're taking your buddies out and you landed here and he's way down there, but you want to use your bar. Check it out. This is the easiest way to do it. You're going to take off all your lines and you're going to put them through your fingers like this, okay? Everybody makes fun of me for saying okay on every single video. And that's just because I'm used to feedback from my students. So, okay, you got it? All right, so I'm taking, that's another thing I say all the time is all right. So I'm just taking all the lines and I'm putting them in my fingers, organized, and I'm not going to let go of that pinch. If I do, I got to start over. I got to re-rig my bar. But this way, I can literally walk anywhere on the whole entire beach. So I got my 10 over here. I just keep them in my fingers like that. There's no tangles, there's no line inversions or anything. And then I'm going to do the same thing I normally do after I run my bar out. I'm going to just set it down on the beach. Now, this is the more beginner approach, but normally I wouldn't even set them down. I would just connect them straight to the kite. I'm also conscientious that I'm not overlapping any lines. And boom, I just go right into connecting them just like that. Right on through and ready to go on my smaller kite. I can get rid of my old kite, whatever the case may be. So why I like this technique is that it's also applicable to other scenarios. So how many times do you rig your bar up and, red's supposed to be on the right for rigging, red right rigging, and it ends up on the left? You get up to your kite and you go to attach your pigtails. You're like, oh, wait a minute, red's supposed to be on that side. And well, check this out. So if you ended up with red on the ground and it doesn't connect, well, put them back in your fingers like this, right? And just flip them. And then put them on the beach and connect your kite. So that's a pro tip. Use it all the time. If I don't know what color goes on which, or if I'm using different brands that switch the colors out, do that. It makes it easy. Now you don't have to re-rig your bar. So I hope this is a great lesson for you guys, and I hope you can apply it. There's 3 different techniques. Each one's going to work for other people. I like my third technique better. Maybe it works better for you. Try it out. If you like the video, please subscribe. Please hit that like button and share it to your friends. Broaden the, all the different education we're giving you to the whole community. Give it out there. Share it with your friends, please. And I'll see you on the water.